a little bit. Yeah. I like you a lot, but I can't promise much. If you do your best, I'll probably leave you on red. I'm a menace. Yeah, I'm a menace. I'm a bona fide menace. Yeah, I'm a menace. This there femme fatale should set your world on fire. Make me your everything and I'll probably find another. I'm a menace. Say I'm a menace. Bona fide menace. I'm a menace. And as you wait to your mama, she said I'm her best lover. And if you screw me over, it's over for ya. Word to your mama, she said I'm her best lover. And if you screw me over, it's over for ya, motherfucker. I'm a menace. I'm a menace. Yeah, bona fide menace. I'm a menace. The difference between me and you see me when you fall asleep. I see you in my rearview. Motherfucker, I'm a menace. I'm a menace. Yeah, bona fide menace. I'm a menace.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, boy. What a fucking nightmare of a song.
Cheers.
Oh, it's a monster of a song. That was Menace by the absolutely impeccable Stevie Jean off her gorgeous new album, The Dark. Certainly a lights off kind of record. Just sit there in the dark and lament your bad decisions, I feel. And
Nice. Yeah.
speaking of bad decisions, we got Stevie Jean on the line now to talk about the album, so I'd like to welcome her to the show.
Hi.
How you going, Stevie?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Loving the cold Melbourne weather, as I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, it's all right. It's
all right.
cold, but I like the city. I like the city a lot.
You do, but the weather can go fuck off, can it?
Oh, I'm not completely against it. It's just like really hard to get out of bed.
Do you?
Which is annoying. I'm more annoyed at it than I am mad at it.
Sounds like we need to buy you one of those. I'm going to drop the name. One of those hoodies. So that
maybe
so then you don't have to leave the bed. Like the bed comes with you essentially.
Yeah, well, I do like all my emailing the second I wake up because it's literally just a reason for me to not get out of bed. So like I wake up and I like email my management and see what's going on for the day, and then I'm like, oh god, I have to get out into the cold. But no, I like it. It's better than too much heat, so it's like still got a novelty to it.
I'm just interested for someone who hasn't really been here that long yet. Do you think that the weather of Melbourne does have an impact on how much of a live music city it is?
I'm not sure, but I know that you wouldn't want to be out in the cold when you could be inside.
At a gig with 400 other sweaty people.
Yeah, see, that sounds like a really good time to me.
But because I know this isn't a concept that Dave Grohl's explored quite a bit, and he's explained it before, like another rainy city, Seattle. He reckons that was influenced a lot of those famous songwriters that came through with the grunge movement to sit in their basement while it was raining and write these depressing songs. So, I don't
Well,
know.
I think I managed to write some very depressing songs in one of the hottest places on earth. So, I feel like if you want to write sad music, you can do it anywhere.
So I think that settles it then. Weather's got fucking nothing to do with it. It's like,
I mean,
stop
to be
complaining.
fair,
Stop complaining that it's hailing.
well, Darwin's rainy too. So if we're talking about cold or if we're talking about rain,
Mate, yeah. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a rain thing.
maybe it's a rain thing. But I love the rain. I love the rain.
Yeah, you're more of
The
a.
rain.
So you'd rather a thunderstormy sort of day than just a sunny day for like getting the creative juices flowing. You reckon?
Well, I'm still undecided on Melbourne rain, but NT rain is like so warm. Like you can skate in the rain and you can just like run in the rain. It just cools you down. If anything, you're going to get hotter because the sun will heat you up. And like that's actually something you need to watch out for. When I used to play soccer, they'd be like, don't put water on your head. I know you want to, but you're going to get heat stroke because the sun will evaporate it off your head. So it's a very different climate.
It's like just your head turns into literally a steam bath.
Yeah, pretty much. So you got to like really watch it.
Because you were mentioning beforehand that you do like a bit of skating. I don't know if you're happy to mention anything, but
yeah, it's fine. I don't think it's going to affect me getting a new board.
you had a bit of a run in with a Melbourne driver.
I did.
Today.
I got hit by a Hilux.
And you're still here to talk about it, which I think is, a testament to like how tough they make them up there,
Oh,
the
cheers. Well, the Hiluxes too, because whenever we see Hiluxes, we're like, yeah, NT. And then I got hit with one and I was like, I'm so betrayed. You were our car and you just came through and you hit us. What's going on?
Well, I think it's a testament to how well they make them because when the car bumped into you, the car didn't fall apart.
No, and I would be very concerned if I was stronger than a car about the manufacturing.
Maybe like from a resilience level, but on a gross tonnage level, maybe the car wins.
Yeah, I think it wins a lot considering I'm 5'2".
I mean, I didn't come here to compare sizes. We came here to talk about the record.
Mad.
How are you feeling now that it's out? Because it's just been a few days, but you were mentioning to me before that the reception's been awesome.
Yeah, the reception's been really authentic. Like it hasn't been like a hype machine kind of vibe. It's been like people, when they talk about the record to me, they talk about the record rather than any like shock value in it. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate like the real response it's had. And yeah, it just feels good and it feels honest the way that people have been talking about it. And I'm really just grateful to have this music out.
Because that surprises me because there has been such a strong slew of singles. Like the album itself works as a cohesive whole, but the singles that you have put out, they work really well by themselves and of what they're trying to say. So,
Thanks.
So I mean, is it like it must be quite relieving and more, you must be quite chuffed that people actually take it as a full piece of art, I guess.
I am very chuffed about that. It's like a dream come true to make albums because I love albums so much. I love albums. And a lot of people have been like kind of steering away from them because of the way that the industry is right now. And I'm like, I don't really think, for me, that's not the point. Because it's just, you look around and it's like, well, the industry that we're in, it's not a surprise and it's not a secret that there's often a lot of money in it. So whenever people are like, so what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I'm like, if you want to be an artist, just do what you want. Make what you want to make. And hopefully people will fuck with it. And if they don't, well, have a nice day regardless. Because that's all you can do, really.
Well, I mean, is that the sort of attitude? Well, actually, I was going to say with that sort of attitude, were you still conscious to a certain extent of what I guess the critical audience is going to think at the end of the day, like, certain reviewers or, certain, I don't know, media people or, even just your audience in general now they've had a few years to get used to your music. At what point do you go, I'm interested to hear what they will think as opposed to I just want to fuck them all. I just want to do what I want.
Oh man, I never think about any of that, to be honest. I don't really think about
can we
that.
re-quote that? I'm going to repackage that and say Stevie Jean does not care about her audience, period.
No. No, I love my audience, but what I don't think about is the critiques. If you think about critiques, you're just never going to make anything ever again. It's terrifying if you start looking at it that way.
Thank you for elaborating further, because I was worried we were going to go down a very, very worrying path there for a sec.
Oh my God, never. No, I love my audience. I can't believe people listen to my music, to be honest. But like the way that I come at it is like, oh my God, I get to make music with some incredible people. So it would be a disservice to the people I work with to be worrying about whether or not it's going to be critiqued, because like the fact that they want to make art with me is like so much more important to me than whether or not somebody likes it. It's like I really, really appreciate when people love my music. But at the same time, I just make music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't expect people to like everything I make. I really don't. It's amazing when they do, but you know, if you stop and think about what everybody wants, in any industry, if you stop and think about what everybody wants ever, then you're going to be pretty stunted.
Have you noticed any pattern too with your audience in terms of the demographic, I guess, of people that you're noticing are connecting more to the actual themes themselves rather than just being no props to those people as well. They just really enjoy it for the music. But I'm talking more of those fans and that audience that really connect with the themes and go, this is me. This really expresses what I'm feeling. Have you noticed a particular demographic or type of person that is sort of relating that way, or is it really not? There's no pattern?
I haven't noticed a pattern. I've connected with lots of people from all the walks of life, and I think that's really beautiful. I think that's a testament to the people I work with and the music that we get to put out. But no, I've never noticed a pattern. I'm just really happy whenever I meet somebody and they're like, yeah, I like your music. I'm like, oh, God bless. Thank you so much for the support. That's about as far as it goes.
Yeah. So it's just a case of like people of all ages and all walks of life are really enjoying it, you reckon?
I think so. I'm really blessed to have like a diverse audience, and I think people like I know a lot of older people like my music as well, which is cool because they kind of like miss the rock, and so they hear the rock and they're like, oh, this is sick, and I'm like, thank you so much, because obviously like their generation taught me how to make rock. And then there's the younger people who might appreciate the hip hop in the joint, and I'm like, this is sick as well. And then there's people who just like my guitar, and my guitar is really cool. My guitar is a Fender Telecaster, and they'll come up to me at the gig, like old bikey looking dudes will come up and be like, yo, we love your guitar. And I'm like, you are so cool. Oh my God, I can't believe you like my guitar.
There is a lot of genres, a lot of styles per se that the album does cover. Really,
Yeah.
You do have the raw, busted out, guitar driven songs like Menace, like we just played. And then there are the softer songs as well as the pop bangers. So I like how it does traverse these different styles throughout the listen.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I love making music. I love a lot of music, so I just make things that I like, and then we end up there. And again, like the people I get to work with, like I work with people who specialize in hip hop. I work with people who specialize in rock and samples, and it's just like the best. So I'm really just lucky. With
that too, because do you think it reflects it more on your own upbringing as well? Because we were talking a bit about it before the interview about how things compare between the different ethnicities and backgrounds of your mum's side of the family and your dad's side of the family, and also what they did for their own, what they do with their time and their careers and that. Do you think that's rubbed off on the fact that you do want to dabble in all these different styles perhaps, or is it maybe just unconscious?
If it was there, it would probably be unconscious. I think it's just a human thing to want to try a million things. But I was also that kid that like I was kind of like a little bit hard to parent because I was like really out to do all of life, and mom was like, calm down.
Oh no, you were a little shit when you were growing up, weren't you?
Yeah, I really was. I was like disappear for 3 days, and mom's like, Stevie, I know you want to go have fun, but you're 17. Come home.
You should know better.
Yeah, I wasn't even doing anything that bad, but I was just I was like that kid who I got my P plates and I was gone. So, and also like she said that whenever she would put me down as a baby, I was just like run off into the crowd. So I just wanted life. Always. I always wanted life, and it gets me in trouble, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So with music, I think I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to do this. I like this. I'm going to do this. I really don't overthink things when it comes to creativity.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. I suppose you don't really have to. Yeah. Tell us a bit about the recording process too, because I see that you did end up having to, hide yourself away to get it done. I don't know if that's the right term, but tell us a bit about how you did put it together and where you did record it, because it does sound interesting.
So we recorded it in a couple of different places. I wrote it all over the place.
Yeah.
Just all over the place. But we recorded the drums at Park Orchard Studio, which is in Victoria. And that's run by a man named Evan, and he's so cool. And I want to hang out with him again. But anyways, we got to record Michael Wallace, who is a phenomenal drummer. And we were just there for a weekend, and they just smashed the drums out. And it was like one of my favorite times ever. And Koya James was there with me, and he's my producer. So we were just I spent most of that time just watching them drum and just like jumping around the booth like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing in the world. I can't believe they're on my record. And then after that, we went back to Darwin, and soon after that kind of the world shut down. But Benjamin Edgar, I write all of the music, but we outsourced the guitars from Benjamin Edgar, and he wrote all of these incredible parts on top of my chord structures. He's just a wizard, and he was in Germany, and he kept sending us like stems and all of these different like recordings that he'd done, and also some synth parts, and he's just amazing. So me and James got to just sit there and like listen to all of the stems and co-produce it up, and we recorded most of it at night because James is like a super busy dude. Like after hours kind of vibes. And then we got more synth parts from my friend Miggy Zamba, and me and him, he's a Darwin boy. Me and him actually grew up playing in bands together when we were young,
okay.
Like 15, 16, 17. And yeah, it was so good to work with him again. And he was sending in synth parts as well. And then James added some extra production. And then Menace was a different one because Menace has like so many different people on it. Like Menace is nuts. It has like Capital J co-produced it with James, but he's also in the background screaming, "We do what we want to do." That's Capital's voice. And
I'm
he really
have to
does.
pay attention next time listening to it.
Yeah, he's the true Menace. Like he literally does whatever he wants. And I love him. And actually, Tasman Keith had a verse on it originally, but that ended up not going through. So he's got like a little writing percentage on it as well. And then a band called Draft Day, who I worked with in Darwin quite a bit, they had all of these like amazing ways to play it live. So they just came in, and over the top of the track that was already there, it was already pretty much a completed track. They just did like live takes. We recorded those just in different rooms, all playing at the same time. And that just added so much more. And so when we were like bouncing it out, James was like, this is like a 2-minute 45 song, but there are so many files in this. Like it's so massive because there's just so many cool people on it. And then it was mixed by Tony Espy, who is an incredible human being. And then mastered by Fred Kevorkian in New York, I'm pretty sure is where he still is. And so, yeah, it's kind of been like created all over the place and all over the world. And yeah, it's been cool.
Jesus Christ. It's like the Lord of the Rings of credits on this song.
Yeah, well, yeah. And also like Liam Budalasia did co-production on The Dark. And then Katie did a little bit of vocal production on a couple of the tracks as well when James was super busy. So it's just like been massive.
Was it intentional to have this much collaboration on the record as opposed to having one producer and locking yourselves away until it's done?
Well, technically, it sounds like it has a lot of collaboration, but the key voices in it, there aren't very many. I just love to make sure that all of these incredible people get credited. So when it comes to this record, it was mostly me and James co-producing, but we gave Benjamin Edgar also production credits because his work is insane.
Yeah.
Like you can't listen to his guitars and be like, he didn't produce that record, because he totally did. But mostly it was me and James taking all of these stems from these incredible musicians and moving them around. I have sole writing credit on all of the songs except Menace, which has like a little bit of Tasman Keith in it from when he wrote the verse. But the rest of the album, it is my writing. But I feel like most albums are hugely collaborative.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make a piece of art and be like, well, I just feel like you should always talk about the people that you get to work with, because otherwise, I don't know why you do it, to be honest. like the relationships you make and the people you get to work with. Like, I get to work with my heroes, so of course I'll talk about them 24/7. I think they're the coolest.
Tasman, well, honestly, everything we get sent through of his is just like we've loved playing Tasman for ages.
Yeah, Taz is dope. He was probably technically, like, he's not really on the record, but we've worked a lot together in the past, and he's a really good musician and a fantastic rapper.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying because you mentioned him a few times. It's always good to give him a shout out because shout out Tasman Keith. Was there any point during the process of putting it together though that was there any sort of, I guess, feeling of exhaustion, like, oh, this is never going to get done? Because it sounds like it really was a real effort to get it together. I mean, any record is, but it really sounds like there was a lot of work going on in there. Did you ever feel like there was ever an overwhelming sense of this is never going to get done, any sort of self-doubt going on there? Or were you pretty certain about everything?
Like I said, I don't really think like that. I like making music, and whenever I get to make music, it's a blessing. So It was never like that. It was always just like, cool, get to hang out with my homies and make music. Yeah. Cool. I got to write something, and now we can make it. Cool. Like, we can put out a single. Mad. Let's go make some more music. Like,
so you wouldn't have cared if it didn't get together. You're just like, this is so much fun. The process of it is so much fun. I don't care what comes out of it.
Oh, no, I really wanted to make an album, but I'm a high velocity writer, I guess you could say. Like, I write a lot. So I've written a lot of songs, and like, it wasn't a question of whether or not the album was going to get done. It was more of a question of what was going on the album, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So how many songs did you write for the album?
Oh, I can't even tell you. I write so many songs, and some of them are terrible and some of them are great, and some of them didn't make this cut but might make the next cut, because like Moth was meant to be on Blame Game, which was my first EP, but we were like, okay, we're going to give it some time. Like, I'll never rush a song unless it's ready. So we left Moth for a while, for quite a few years, and then like some things went down and I rewrote it, and then it was finally ready to come out, so I put it on this album. So albums are kind of like jigsaw puzzles. When it comes to that, each
song's a piece, I guess.
Yeah, and I'll never put out anything that I'm not happy with, and I'll never put out anything that's not true to me. So
do you have to then, going on that then, do you have to look over some of your lyrics maybe that you might pen down and go, well, that may not quite hit the mark? So is there a little bit of elimination going on there in terms of, after you've written it, going, well, let's have a look at this and let's see if it really does fit what I'm feeling?
Yeah, well, I definitely cull my lyrics a lot. I do a lot of editing, but also I find that a lot of the songs that I write that are the better songs are written in like 20 minutes. So some songs take a long time to write, and other songs you just like, and it's done. And then you're like, cool, can we produce it? And they're like, yeah, mad. And then you just do it. Like, I think I wrote Menace in a solid 20 minutes. Yeah. Same with December Song, wrote that really fast. But then like Moth took like a good 3 years to like mature. So they just live their own little lives.
Yeah, so it can differ.
Yeah, 100%.
Were there any though that you weren't thinking of would be making the cut, and then somebody else has told you, no, keep it, Stevie, this is awesome?
Graduation.
Yeah?
Yeah, no one was supposed to hear that. It was like 30 seconds long and it was just super depressing. And I was like, lol, look at this super depressed thing I wrote. And James was like, we should make that a chant. And I was like, there's 30 minutes. And he was like, no, 30 seconds. And he was like, yeah, let's just loop it. And I was like, okay, yeah.
I was going to say, he was like, we'll just play it over and over again.
Yeah. So that's why it's got such a unique structure. But I love that song.
Seriously, that's the secret that buskers have been milking for years. Especially with the loop pedals. Yeah, just loop it.
Loop it.
She'll be right, mate.
Pretty much.
The drunker the people are that's stumbling down the street, the less likely they're going to pick up on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
If you were to, speaking of statements, if you were to sort of describe the album in one sentence, I guess, I don't know. You don't have to answer this question because I feel like sometimes you want to like have a little bit of mystery. But if you feel so inclined, how would you describe the album in one sentence that sort of expresses, I guess, the true meaning of what you're trying to tell? Does that sound wanky enough to answer, or are we?
I don't know if I can even answer that. I just write how I feel, and then I get to make music with my friends. And I don't know, man. I love making music.
I'm gonna have to come back to you on 6 months on that one. Like you have to have a good think about it. Give the songs a bit of a break, and then you're gonna have to tell me. Then you have to self-analyze.
Oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready to self-analyze a whole record.
You got to have you're not yet at the stage, I think, Stevie, that you're going to have your mid-youth crisis. It's coming. Don't you worry. It's coming to you like a tsunami. But when it does, oh boy, when it does, you're going to...
Oh God, did you have a mid-youth crisis? Is that what I'm sensing, Daniel?
I'm not the one here to answer questions. When I put out my next record, then you can ask me. But that's for another day. But
oh my God, you should let me interview you, and I'm going to ask you all of these whack questions. I'm going to be like, hey Daniel, do you appreciate your fans, Daniel?
Oh God.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's gonna be good. You have to get me on the tequila first, I think.
Yeah, I think we can do that, and then we can just talk about our Greek family, our Mediterranean family.
Yeah, wogs complaining about wogs. That sounds like
pretty much. We're also
idea.
Celebrating them, celebrating and complaining and just laughing,
crying while I'm eating some spanakopita. Yeah,
yeah, just eating olives and complaining.
Yeah. I never used to like olives.
What?
Yeah, not kidding. Like this is how much of a traitor I am to the wog race.
Jeez.
And then on my Anglo side of the family, so they used to go. My mum's side of the family go, "You're not wog if you don't eat olives." What the fuck?
Yeah, well, I would kind of agree with her.
and then my dad's side of the family, my Anglo side of the family, would always have fruit cake for Christmas and any function, and I would never eat the fruit cake.
Wow.
Oh, now Daniel, you can't be a pern if you don't have your fruit cake. So I was like, well, what am I? I don't know. I'm an outcast.
Oh yeah, you're just a mixed kid.
That definitely. Well, I eat them now, but I think that definitely damaged me. So I'm totally blame my family for that.
You definitely need to eat olives.
Yeah, I need some therapy.
Olives and therapy.
Yeah, I just need to be snacking on them as we go, and just my therapist going, tell me what foods they hurt you with,
Yeah, no. Oh my God.
Point on the brandy infused fruit cake where they hurt you. Yeah.
Oh my God, dang.
That got deep quick, didn't it?
That got really we got to paint food drama. That's a whole thing.
What's one food you won't eat just randomly?
Oh. What won't I eat? I'm not a fan of anchovies.
I was gonna say you would never try surströmming, would you? That Swedish fermented fish.
Oh, probably not. I'll try anything once, but I probably won't. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's anything like anchovies, but I'm just not about it.
Fair enough. I know some people love it on pizza and others hate it, but
yeah, whenever I eat it, I'm like, what is this? I'm not a fan. But if anybody puts food in front of me that I haven't tried before, of course I'll try it, especially if it's from their culture.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because it'll always be delicious, especially if it's homemade.
Yeah, and just like the opportunity. That's cool. Sharing is caring.
Speaking of 20 WOG questions, what's your favorite dish to make?
Avrola morning.
Sorry? Sounds all Greek to me.
It's
touche, Daniel. Touche.
It's a soup that my grandmother would make, and my dad makes a really good one. And it's egg, lemon, rice, and chicken.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It's so good, dude.
It sounds like just the best comfort food.
Oh my God, it just fills you up and you're just like chilling. Oh my God, I love that soup.
Every culture, I think, no matter where it originates from, has some sort of comfort food, signature comfort food. Like, name a culture. Like, you could probably, you probably list a food, or if you didn't know, they'd be able to tell you what the comfort food is. But it must be some universal human trait that food is there to comfort you. Food is part of the soul.
Well, food is definitely part of the reason that you're alive. Like a massive part of the reason that you're alive. Almost the sole reason that you're alive. So go figure that, like, it makes us feel good when we get to eat. So it's like a blessing. Like, even if you're having a really bad day, like, I remember I was super broke when I got to Melbourne, and I was like, you know what? Your life's actually fine. So long as you get to eat and you have some place to sleep, everything's good. Don't be panicking. Don't be bougie. Don't be petty. Just feed yourself. Like, literally just feed yourself, because some people can't even do that.
Don't yell at random 21-year-olds in the street because they're showing midriff.
Oh, my God. Yeah, maybe don't do that. Just eat. Just eat something. Like, it's our aunties and our mothers know what's up when they're like, just eat something and you'll feel better. And, yeah, we do. And then suddenly everything's okay.
I can't even remember what I was going to ask next. No, that's what I was going to ask. When you do play the album live, when you do get round to, when I do, hint, see you playing these songs live, Stevie.
Hey, I played them last week.
Sorry?
I played live last week.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Where?
I had an album launch at the Red Beater.
Oh, yes. No, I did see the post for that. Sorry, I take that back. I think I did see your Instagram post about it. How was it, though? How was the Leadbeater show?
Very good. Oh, my God. So many NT kids. Shout out to all of my NT kids in Melbourne. Every single one of you.
Did they specifically come down?
No.
They didn't hire a bus or anything like that, did they?
From the NT, that's a long way. No, but a lot of what happens in the NT is a lot of, like, kids, you graduate and you often move to a big city. So there's, like, a lot of NT kids in Melbourne.
Right.
Yeah, so I was actually quite late to moving here in Darwin tradition.
So these were all people you knew, or people that you, like, were in your circle or something?
Well, I hadn't seen them for years, and I get to the gig, and it's just, like, packed out with all of these NT kids, and I was like, oh my God, my heart is bursting. You guys are the best. So there were, like, some new friends that I hadn't met before, but, like, and some Darwin, some Melbourne people as well, but there was just, like, so many NT kids, and we just all partied until 2.
That's
and it was
awesome.
Dude, it was so good. I love my NT kids. Any kid who hears this who's from the NT in a big city, I love you. Don't stop being cheeky.
I was going to say, so that's how you can, they're a bit of cheek, a bit of, they're out there to have a bit of fun. That's how you can always identify them.
Yeah, we're pretty loose because, like, we come from a hot climate, so we're all just kind of, like, a little bit, I don't know.
Bit of slack jaw.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know.
The heat makes the heat makes those tendons hang a bit too loosely.
Oh, I don't know too loosely. I just think that I'm very proud of my community. I'm very proud of the kids who leave it and the kids who stay. I'm just proud to be from the NT.
What were you trying to bring? What kind of approach were you trying to bring to the songs live when you were doing them the other day?
I just wanted to play them and give them as much like live authenticity. Like whenever I play a live show, I want to make sure that it's a good time for the people who go, and also that it does the songs justice, because there's a reason that we make them that certain way. And I actually got to play my last 2 live shows with Micah, the original drummer, and with Miggy, the original keys player, who were both on the record. So that was it was a huge honor. And Yeah, and I also got to play with Dakota Smith, who's another Darwin kid who I used to play in bands with when I was like 15, 16, 17, actually the same band when we were young. So it was so good. It was so fun.
Yeah, so it's like they must bloody enjoy it, because especially ones that have contributed on the album, just to go there and actually like have a bit of fun with it and actually do it in front of people must be very rewarding.
Yeah, I think it would be a good time. It's a good time for me, certainly, and we just vibe out together. Like I said, I get to make music with my friends.
So do you have a tendency to, when you are in the writing process, to actually, when you're putting the songs together, do you consciously think about how it's going to sound live, or how it's going to sound like if you were just to play it in front of people?
No. I mean, I think about it a little bit, but like I said, whenever you make art, it's got to be in service of the art and in service of the song. And that is not to say that you don't want to give your fans everything that they want and the people who support you everything that they want. But when you're in the creative process, I think it would hinder you to be thinking about opinions and what people hear. Do you know what I mean? And because a live show is an entirely different ball game to a record. So you figure out how they're going to translate on stage independently of how you want to make them sound on the record.
I mean, a lot of them, I'm guessing, would have translated pretty well, though.
Oh, you can translate all of them really well because they're guitar heavy. Because I just love guitars, so they translate really well. But I feel like these days we're so privileged to have all of these different amazing like live instruments and like trigger points and like pads and stuff. So you can really take any kind of music to the live stage, and you see so many people do it so brilliantly with all of these different types of music. It's really exciting. Yeah,
it's really only something that's probably popped up in the last 15 years or so. Like what you can do on stage with it.
Yeah, I find it really, really interesting because I know a lady I work with a lot, Katie Baker. Like she uses her drummer triggers pads, which is kind of becoming like a really commonplace thing to do. And I think it's really effective in her live shows.
I was going to say, Katie Baker's another awesome artist.
Yeah, she's great.
She put out a great album last year, I remember.
Mary of the North. Yeah, that was also produced by James. So.
Oh, okay. It's a small world up there. So, because compared to here, because because I believe that Kia James and that has collaborated with you as well.
That's the James I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh shit! It is. Oh right, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen some like Instagram posts or stories or something where you guys have worked together. James.
So Koya means.
Koya. It's Koya. I've been pronouncing
it. It's Koya.
Okay.
Yeah. So Koya means big brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he again last year put out some awesome music last year as well.
Yeah, he put out an album called Isha along with one of my really good friends, Serena Peck.
I was going to say, speaking of like those people that you do work with in the scene up there, how do you find, like, what makes the scene and the music community up there in Darwin special and unique compared to elsewhere?
Well, I mean, every community has its perks, and I think Darwin's is that we have the space to be who we are and have the space to create, and it's not like a hugely judgmental kind of world.
Yeah.
In the NT, like I said, it's kind of too hot to really be bothered with the drama. So
you're already angry enough at the heat.
Yeah,
to be angry at other people.
No, you can't be angry at each other when you're like both really sweaty. So it's not hot. So no, we have a lot of space to be who we are and to create. And it's a really great community out there. And it's not like there's a million music scenes. It's like there's one music scene, and then we all exist within it and create what we want to create. Rather than like, it's not like a rock scene, heavy metal scene. It's like everything is everything is part of kind of the same scene. So we all support each other and learn from each other.
Yeah, yeah. As much as I do love the Melbourne music scene, and don't get me wrong, it's awesome. But I'm guessing it's just purely because of the abundance of music there is a tendency to have bubbles form, both I think with styles, as you say, but also geographically. Like you'll tend to find a lot of musicians will tend to stick in one area of the city
Well, it's massive.
Exactly.
It makes sense. It's huge.
And that's just a function of how bloody big the city is. Unless you're coming here to tour, you'll find that local musicians like that are in the inner north will stick to largely the inner north, or they'll stick to that inner southeast area or outer east, depending on where they are. Like there is that tendency to sort of stick to your own area.
That's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
I look forward to learning more about this. The long time in this city.
But yeah, it's good to always cross over and check out different areas, because there'll always be new people that you can meet.
Yeah.
What are you hoping moving forward? Now that you've got the album out, and now that you've done the launch show, as I so lovingly forgot. What are you really hoping to dig your teeth into now that you're down here in Melbourne? Now that you've had the record out.
I just want to play as many live shows as I can possibly fit in. I just want to play every night to every person. I love playing live. It's so addictive, especially when it's rock. Like rock is such a fun genre to play live. There's such fun songs to play live. So yeah, I've got a taste for it in the Melbourne scene, and I just want to play to everybody.
Sounds good. I'm keen to be one of those people.
Yay, thank you.
And you can berate me over a tequila shot.
I will definitely do that. We can have like a proper really loud fight for no reason.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Honestly, it's so cool seeing the record finally come out after all these.
Thank you.
After seeing you've released these awesome songs. And honestly, I hope the rest of the year goes just as well as it has so far. We are going to be playing, or you actually said personally to me before, your favorite song off the album, which makes me go, absolutely, we're going to talk about it, which is what you're going to do right now. So your favorite, you said your favorite song off the record was Callie.
Yeah, it is.
Which we are going to play soon. So why is that the case? Because it is a very, as I was saying before the interview, very, very relaxing sort of, muted song compared to a lot of the other ones.
I don't know if I would call it that. Like it comes across a little bit like that. But if you listen to it the whole way through, there's like a lot of twisted kind of musical choices in it that I really like. And a lot of people, it's just it's a good song, and we all really enjoyed making it. The production at the end was one of my favorite moments on the album. Like there's we ended up recording me singing, and James was like, how late can you sing this line? And I was like, bro, I can sing this so lazy. And he was like, no, do it. I was like, nah, what? And I sang it so lazy that he actually had to move it more into time. I said, he was like, yeah, here's the challenge. And I was like, Russ, I can be lazy. But if you listen to it, you can really hear it takes its time, this song. And I love it. It's also one of my mom's favorite, but she heard it the first time and she was like, are you going to murder someone? Like, this is really twisted. I was like, maybe.
Who do you hate today, Mum?
Yeah, I'll be your little legionary.
Your little hit lady.
I'll be the little hit lady mom. I'll kill anybody for my mom.
It's good to know that you love your mum like that, yeah. Yeah. I better not get on her bad side.
Well, my mom's actually an ex-judo champion, so she really doesn't actually need me to protect her at all. No, she's got that covered.
So she's good. She'll get you for backup.
Yeah, well, she wouldn't even need me for backup. She'd probably go to my brother first because he's 6'1".
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you say that like it's like huge, but then I guess compared to your height.
Well, compared to 5'1", it's very different.
It's like the giant. Yeah, he's like a giant, I guess, compared to you. Yeah,
well, Mum's 5'2", so he's like really big in our family.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Stevie, thanks so much for taking the time out of your evening and your recovery period to come and chat shit about the album and, actually chat some serious stuff about it too, Thank
you for having me.
We're going to play Callie now, but can you tell tell people. Let's take them out on the song. Tell them who you are.
Oh, okay. My name's Stevie Jean. I like to make music, and I get to make music, and I like to live because that's what we get to do on this planet. So I've got one life, and I'm living it the best I can, and I have a lot of fun. I don't know, man. I'm so awkward. I'm so awkward.
And on that note, let's leave.
Yeah, bye.
Here it is, Callie.
Still got your stuff in my home. Don't know why. Was it all a waste? I'm just the last girl you'll ever taste it. No lost when we finally called it off. Was I your stepping stone? And we'll never make Kelly now. You're on your way up, I'm on my way down, yeah. So I write you this song just to show you how it sounds to feel numb. And do you hear me now? I was crying out with my head buried into the dirt. And you followed your thirst, and we'll never make Kelly now. You're on your way up, I'm on my way down. And we'll never make Kelly now. You're on your way up, I'm on my way down. And we'll never make Kelly now. You're on your way up, I'm on my way down. And we'll never make Kelly now. Was it all always way up, I'm on my way down. Yeah, but make Kelly now. What a waste, yeah, way up, on my way
AustralianMusiciansRadio.com